Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Let me introduce myself. My name is Nadia Maila Putri from Dental Therapist Program of Poltekkes Kemenkes Semarang. I'm looking forward to talk with you about risk factor of aspiration pneumonia related to improper oral hygiene behavior in community dysphagia persons with nasogastric tube feeding by Xu Zhewang, Qinchen Qiu, and Xu Yue Liao from Department of Oral Hygiene, College of Dental Medicine, Kaohsiung Medical University, Taiwan, on 16 February 2017. ASP is one of the most critical complications and a major cause of death in patients with dysphagia. The risk factors of ASP are dysphagia, compromised consciousness, insufficient oral care, and decrease in salivary clearance. Nearly 50% of all individuals residing in nursing homes suffer from a swallowing disorder. Dysphagia persons always have problems in loss of sensation and mobility, paralysis, or weakness of affected side of mouth and limbs, which makes them unable to feel whether food is pocketed in the mouth or not, cannot take care of their daily life activities, including toothbrush by themselves, or cannot get proper oral care from caregivers. Dysphagia elderly always suffer from chronic malnutrition and dehydration caused by the difficulty of taking meals and drinking orally. Nasogastric tube feeding is an option, yet it has not been shown to reduce the risk of aspiration or pneumonia. Furthermore, gastric bacteria can migrate upward along the tube and colonize the pharynx. A study of 115 nurses and healthcare professionals working regularly on care of the elderly is what found that only a third of units received oral care training in 1 year. Since long-term care elderly always have poor oral hygiene and unmet needs in oral care, so in this journal we can find out what is incorrect about caregivers' skill in daily oral care and how poor oral hygiene status has been involved in developing ASP for dysphagia persons with nasogastric tube feeding. And the next part is materials and the method. This is cross-sectional descriptive study conducted from June to December 2015 on 128 DPNGTF receiving home care and their corresponding main caregivers in the Tainan area, Taiwan. The caregiver had been fully trained and certified by the Taiwan Ministry of Social Welfare. A self-reported structuralized questionnaire was used to measure the oral care behavior of caregivers. All data analyses were performed using the SPSS program. The chi-square was used for comparison of non-parametric data. Fisher-Exact test was used when the expected frequency of any cell in the table was less than 5. A p-value less than 0.05 was considered statistically significant. Next part is the result. From this table, we can conclude that 55 dysphagia persons with nasogastric tube feeding has developed as ASP 43.6 0.0%, and they had statistically significantly in halitosis, deposition of oropharyngeal secretion, dry mouth, closing mouth, and not allowed to brush. And then from the second table, we can conclude that the poor oral hygiene status of dysphagia persons with nasogastric tube feeding was significantly correlated with the occurrence of ASP. Assist oral care, times of oral care, timing of oral care, and tools of oral care. All of that were risk factors of ASP. Next part is discussion. Rose described that oropharyngeal functional dysphagia is a complication of neurological disease, injuries, and aging. He further explained that since stroke patients with oropharyngeal dysphagia suffer with eating difficulty and easy choking during drinking water or liquid. Nasogastric tube feeding is a very often seen option for a daily feeding to substitute oral feeding, but long-term placement may be another risk of factor to lead to ASP. Tube feeding may alter the environment of the oral ecosystem and lead to oral indigenous microbacteria disruption, allowing health-thinning bacteria to thrive. This observation may explain part of the reason in this research have higher incidence of ASP, because all studied subjects were long-term placed with nasogastric tube. Leibovitz conclude that the alterations in saliva may be related to the risk of ASP. This may explain the patient with dry mouth is the study had 4.23 times higher risk to have ASP as compared to the patient without dry mouth. Lack of oral care knowledge, attitude, and skills of caregivers or giving inappropriate advice regarding oral care to the patient for whom they were caring also plays an important risk. Poor oral care related knowledge and skills of caregivers will highly impact the oral hygiene and health and lead to high risk factor of ASP. The outcome of oral care to DBNGTF is not appropriate, even though the caregiver have been trained, registered, and have full practice experience in daily care. The appropriate oral care of brushing at least twice a day, after getting up or meal and before sleeping, and using the toothbrush to brush the tooth should be taught to the caregiver. Because of the patient were dependent on taking care of daily activities and oral care by caregivers, it is very important for nurses or caregivers in communities to have proper awareness and correctly practical skills or oral care. Unfortunately, researchers found that elderly residents were generally not concerned about their oral health unless they are in pain, which causes them to have poor oral hygiene and health status. Using sponge stick should not be recognized as a proper tool of oral care for dentate. A sponge stick does not brush out the dental plaque in gingival sulcus, interproximal, palatal mucosal, and oropharyngeal area or dentures effectively. The accumulation of colonized pathogens could serve as a reservoir for recurrent lower respiratory tract infection in dysphagia patients. So the next part is the conclusion. From this research, we can conclude that oral care after getting up only using sponge stick has a higher risk compared to the implemented oral care prior to sleeping using toothbrush. The importance of implementing oral care prior to sleeping by using toothbrush should be reinforced in DPNG-TF guidelines of oral care and educational course of caregivers during the process in their career training are needed. That's all from me. Thanks for your attention. If you guys have a questions, you can type it on the comment below. Bye. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.